So hello everyone, once again welcome back to our channel English Grammar and Literature World. Dear students, in today's class we are going to cover one word substitution based on previous year questions of various competitive exams. In our earlier class we have completed 31 questions from one word substitution, and today again we are going to cover 30 questions from one word substitution based on previous year questions of SSC, CGL, CHSL, MTS and other state competitive exams. And these all questions are very important. So without further delay, let's begin today's class. So look at the first one. A person who studies spiders is called. So the correct answer is option A, that is arachnologist. An arachnologist is a scientist who studies arachnids such as spiders, scorpion, ticks and mites, focusing on their classification, behavior, anatomy and habits. Understand? So a person who studies spider, and that is arachnologist. Okay, next. A speech made in praise of a dead person. So what is called? So the correct answer is option B, and that is eulogy. A eulogy is a speech or written tribute that praises and honors a person who has died, usually delivered during a funeral or memorial service. Okay, but you cannot answer elegy. So elegy is not a speech made in praise of a dead person. Okay, so here option B, eulogy is the correct answer. Next, one who cannot tolerate others' opinions is called. So the correct answer is option D, dogmatist. Look, a dogmatist is a person who strongly believes that their own opinions are unquestionably correct and refuses to accept or consider different viewpoints. Okay, next. One who is unable to pay debts is called. I think you people know the right answer, because this one is very important, very common one word substitution. So here the correct answer is option C, that is insolvent, or you can say bankrupt. So an insolvent person is someone who cannot repay their debts because their financial liabilities exceed their available assets or income. Understand? Next. One who abandons his religious faith. So what is called? Correct answer is option A, that is apostate. An apostate is a person who renounces or abandons their previously held religion. Next. One who cannot make mistakes. So what is called? So this one is also very important. So here the correct answer is option B, and that is infallible. An infallible person is someone who is believed to be incapable of making mistakes or being wrong in judgment, decisions or actions. That's why option B is the correct answer. Next, one who loves luxury and comfort is called. The correct answer is option B, and that is epicure. An epicure is a person who enjoys fine food. Okay, next. One who is easily deceived. What is called? So the correct answer is option D, that is credulous. A credulous person is someone who readily believes what others say without sufficient evidence, making them easily fooled or deceived. Okay, so skeptic is not the correct answer. Cynical and cautious are totally wrong. Okay, so option D is the correct answer only. Next, one who speaks very little. I think you people know the right answer. So here the correct answer is option C, and that is very common term, that is taciturn. Okay, a taciturn person speaks very little. And garrulous is totally opposite of taciturn. Someone who speaks more, that is called garrulous. Next, one who talks too much. So what is called? Yes, I have already told you, that is option A. Garrulous is the correct answer. A garrulous person talks excessively. Understand? Next, one who cannot be conquered. What is called? So where the correct answer is option D, and that is invincible. Okay. So invincible refers to a person or force that cannot be defeated, conquered or overcome because of exceptional strength, power, or you can say resilience. Understand? So option D is the correct answer. Next, one who withdraws from society and lives alone. So tell me the correct one word substitution. So here the correct answer is option B, and that is recluse. A recluse is a person who deliberately avoids social contact and chooses to live in isolation. Okay. Next, one who destroys religious images or traditions is called option B, that is iconoclast. So this one is very important question. So iconoclast is a person who oppose or destroy established beliefs, traditions or religious images. Okay. Next, one who knows many subjects thoroughly is called, the correct answer is option C, and that is polymath. A polymath is a person with extensive knowledge. Extensive knowledge. Understand? And expertise in many different subjects achieved through continuous learning and intellectual curiosity. Next, one who lives by begging. So what is called? The correct answer is option A, and that is mendicant. A mendicant is a person who survives by begging. Okay. Survive by begging for food or money, often as a part of religious life. Next, a person who eats human flesh. So this one is also very important. A person who eats human flesh is called option D, that is cannibal. So a cannibal is a person who eats the flesh of another. Human being. Okay. Next, what's written on a tomb? So tell me the correct one word substitution. Here someone get confused between epitaph and elegy. So look, I would like to clear, elegy is not the correct answer. So elegy is a mournful song, but here the correct answer is option A, that is epitaph. An epitaph is a brief inscription written on a tombstone or grave in memory of deceased person. Understand? Next, a person who walks in sleep. So this one also very common term, and I think you people know the correct answer. So where the correct answer is option A, that is somnambulist. So a somnambulist is a person who walks or performs simple activities while asleep, a condition commonly known as sleepwalking or somnambulism. Okay. Sleepwalking. Next, a person who cannot be corrected. What is called? The correct answer is option C, and that is incorrigible. So an incorrigible person is someone whose bad habits or behavior cannot be corrected or improved even after repeated advice or punishment. Next, one who has narrow-minded beliefs. So here the correct answer is option B, and that is bigot. A bigot is a person who is stubbornly intolerant of beliefs, opinions, or people who are different from their own views or background. Understand? Next. A handwriting that cannot be read. So tell me the correct one substitution. This one is also very, very important. The correct answer is option C, and that is illegible. So legible means a handwriting that can be read, but a handwriting that cannot be read, that is called illegible. Illegible describes handwriting or printed text that is so unclear. Okay? Or you can say poorly written. Poorly written. Next. A place where bees are kept. This one is also very common one word substitution. So a place where bees are kept is called option B, that is apiary. An apiary is a place where beehives are kept for breeding bees and producing honey. Next, a person who deliberately set fire to property. So here the correct answer is option A, arsonist. An arsonist is a person who intentionally sets fire to buildings, vehicles, or other property, usually with criminal or malicious intent. Next, a speech delivered without preparation. It's called option C, and that is extempore. An extempore speech is delivered without prior preparation or written script. Okay. Next, a government ruled by the rich. Correct answer is option C, plutocracy. Plutocracy is a form of government in which political power is controlled or heavily influenced by wealthy individual. Understand? So that is called plutocracy. For the people, by the people, called democracy. And aristocracy generally suggests rule by nobles. Okay. Next, one who serves mankind selflessly. So I think you people know the correct answer, and that is very easy term, philanthropist. So philanthropist is a person who works for the welfare of others by donating time, money, or resources to improve society and help those in need. Next, a person who studies diseases. So here the correct answer is option D, and that is pathologist. A pathologist is a medical specialist. Next, a person who studies the ear, nose and throat. What is called? I know that many people get confused and they think ENT is the correct answer. Okay, so they always tick ENT specialist. No, that is totally wrong. A person who studies ears, nose and throat is called option C, and that is otorhinolaryngologist. Okay, so otorhinolaryngologist is a medical specialist who diagnoses and treats disorders of the ears, nose, throat, head and neck. Understand? So the term is very, very crucial term, that is otorhinolaryngologist. Next, a person who studies weather is called, the correct answer is option B, and that is meteorologist. So meteorologist is a scientist who studies the atmosphere. Understand? And this is the last one. A person who studies ancient inscriptions. What is called? Look at the option. Option A, epigraphist. Option B, archivist. Option C, genealogist. And option D, numismatic. So what is the correct answer? You have to tell me in the comment section. So here are total 30 questions with a short and brief explanation, and also based on previous year questions. So that's all for today. In our next class, we'll be talking about another important topic. So till then, keep reading, keep writing, and keep watching English Grammar and Literature World. And also the PDF of the class will be available in our official Telegram channel, which is given in the description. So have a nice day. Thanks for watching.